Today I'm going to diverge from my non-regularly scheduled snippets to talk about a story. I'm just going to cut to the chase. So the last Monday in October, 1 year ago today this time, I remember attending a mandatory faculty meeting on suicide prevention. And I'm not a fan. Anyway, I just remember sitting there feeling, pretty heavy already on a Monday, and I just felt like we got the message, or at least my interpretation was the message of, it's up to teachers. You need to look for the signs. You're the ones that see them, and so it was long, kind of a PowerPoint that anyway. The reason why I think I will never forget that day is because, day went on normally, and then that night I got a phone call informing me that a favorite student of mine had taken his own life that night. And so, I don't know, it hit me hard. And he wasn't just a former student, he was really a beloved former student. And so, next day, I went to school. I was really having a hard time. Protocols are put into place. I remember, hearing an announcement, there's a counselor downstairs and there's faculty to take over your class if you need to. And I did. And, usually it's like, no, I can push through. And no, I did. And I went and talked to the counselor, and then I took the rest of the day off, and I drove home upset, and I called some friends, and I ended up talking to my youngest child, and I was really upset. And my youngest child said, Mom, you are so lucky to be so sad, because not a lot of teachers can have that kind of relationship and that bond with a student. And I just remember thinking, just twisting, something so sad, which it still is, but to something so, like, I'm grateful, I'm so lucky to be so sad. Where am I? I had to write down some notes. So I went home, and I knew that Jared and I had exchanged some emails. So I came home and I sat down and I read our emails just weeks prior to this. And so, with permission, I'd like to read a few of those emails, or just excerpts from them, give you a flavor for Jared. Hey, Newson. It's been too long. I was just reading The Republic for my philosophy class when I remember where it started it all. Great book, but it reminded me that I should give thanks to those who educated me properly. There's a portion in Book 6 where Socrates mentioned this sailor all fighting to be captain. But the one who is actually the best navigator and stargazer would never become captain because he wasn't trying to take power. Immediately my brain yelled, Viva la Revolution. You are that sailor with significant amount of valuable knowledge that stays behind the scenes, leading from the background. And I thought, well, a philosopher teacher is perfect because they educate others on the value of educating others. And you've done that for me. I got a tattoo last year that said 3 words, I don't know, simply because I was so amazed with their moral implications and how we're talking about Socrates. And the only thing that I know is I know nothing. And I realized subconsciously this is why I walked into you. You inspired me to question, to wonder, to be curious, to be content. Choose your future, love your choices, never left me, and I don't think it ever will. There's so many lessons I learned. Anyway, he goes on, and he was telling me about his first year of college, and working with 8 to 10-year-olds, and backpacking, and doing less dangerous outlets, which he's stoked about because he had surgery on his shoulder. he was doing wilderness pursuits, leadership. I'm the secretary of the club sports council, a teacher assistant for the leadership and facilitation class. So staying busy, but I still find time to kendama, and I would say happier than ever. A busy schedule, nourishing summer, small community, and of course the ambiguity of philosophy to keep me thinking. Life is good. He said, I can't wait to hear back from you, and above all, I hope all is well. So I got back to him, and I said, wonderful to hear from you. I confess, it choked me up, and I had to reread it with clear eyes. You made my day. And I was telling him I was thinking about him the other day, philosophy stuff. Told him about going to the Dominican Republic with my son that summer, and that my youngest is in college, and that we're empty nesters right now. I told him that I'm going to retire in a couple years, and life is good. Send me some ideas if you have any for retirement. Thanks so much for taking time to reach out. You have a special place in my world as a former student, and I'm grateful to know you. I'd love to tell you about this new book because we were going to share it, and then I said, keep up the good life, and above all, I hope all is well. I like it, and I'm stealing it from you. The next email I got from Jared, he said, Newson, you've been so influential in my life, and hearing back from you is more special than you know. Authenticity is something I learned, and I hope you receive some of your own medicine. He talked about he's glad that I experienced a paradigm shift in the DR. Memories like that mold and shape your personality. Empty nest, congratulations. And he talked about this story, and he said, retirement, holy crap, that's awesome. You better write a novel or produce a movie or start a revolt. I mean, that much free time is dangerous. Here's some suggestions I thought of off the top of my head. Take up a pastime you thought you'd never do before. Guitar, fishing, mahjong, paintball, kendama, whatever. Invest in Connect 4, start a nonprofit, move to a foreign country. Just a couple of thoughts. His philosophy class has been a wonderful refresher. He's looking forward to existentialism and decided to minor in philosophy. Glad to hear from you. You're a superstar. Keep on keeping on. And so I read those and reread those and composed one email. Just, I don't know why. I don't know why. Just wanted to write him an email, and I just remember saying, you know what, really wish I would have got to talk to you some more, send you another email. I half expected you to just peek that big moppy head around the corner and give me a big hug. You know? I remember early knowing him, I've said, I'm not much of a hugger. I've got some boundaries, not much of a hugger. And he just said, well, I am. And he just reached down and gave me this huge hug. And Jared's family had a really beautiful celebration of life, which is amazing because just like Jared, here are these down people, and they just had a way of, just lifting others up, especially. I have a greater sense of inspiration, and one story, which is, we have these, mornings where kids can get stuff done, and Jared came by my room in the morning, and he said, Newsom, trade me for this. I've been going around bartering. And he spent the morning with a buddy, just going from room to room, seeing if people would trade up. And he started, like with a paperclip or something, and he just kept building up. And he came and traded me for something. And I think by the end of the hour, maybe hour and a half, I think he probably could have had a car. And I remember he was just so excited. He came into my room and he said, Newsom, Joe, people are just so generous. And I will be always mindful, and you're always in my heart, you magnificent teacher. And as I carry on with high school, I will be mindful of some things that I've noticed that I think you would really appreciate, Jared. Finding beauty in movement, getting outside, enjoying nature. From kendama to dance, just movement and getting outside. beauty for nature for the sake of nature, uh, teaching sustainability, not just with the environment, but with our lifestyle. Is this a lifestyle that we can sustain? Not just a sustainable one, a sustainable one, but not just a flourishing one is what we're looking for. And one word, philosophy. Philosophy. Well, the sun's up now, and it's a new day, and I'm just going to be mindful and think about Jared on this day, especially. I think suicide in general is something that needs to be talked about. I don't know. I don't know. I think I just want to wrap this up by, I don't know, just, I'm so proud that I had the relationship that I did with Jared, and he's so special. And I think back to what I want to do is just to change education, and I will always keep Jared in mind, because I think that he would absolutely love this idea of a different kind of school, more humane. And so always to a new day. Keep on keeping on. You know, I honestly have been remembering my dreams, but I sure hope to have a sneak encounter in my subconscious mind and have Jared just come poke that moppy head in and just have some weird adventure in a dream. So, thanks.